Hello, everybody. My name is Howard Hill. You know, I've been shooting a bow for 40 years. Been making a living with bow and arrow for 35 years. It's a lot of fun. And you can have a lot of fun shooting bow and arrow, too. You want to know where you can hunt? You can hunt almost anywhere. Well, you know, it was only a couple of years ago that two boys in Milwaukee killed a bear in the city limits. There's game every place, large or small game, anything you want to hunt. But there's one thing about hunting with a bow and arrow. You got to get a lot closer to your game than you do when you're shooting with a rifle. When you're using a rifle and a scope sight, you can start banging away at 300 or 400 yards, but not with a bow and arrow. You got to get up within 25 or 30 yards, not over 50 yards to do accurate shooting with a bow and arrow. Of course, sometime you might kill one at 60 or 70 yards, but that's more or less of an accident. And then after you shoot him, if you don't hit him in a vital spot, you've got to be a real tracker and know wood lore and game lore in order to follow him down and find him, because, you know, it just isn't fitting to leave animals in the wood wounded, even with a rifle, let alone a bow and arrow. This is my favorite bow. It's a straight-in fiberglass. Pulls about 85 pounds. Of course, you don't need that many pounds pull on the ordinary bow, because most of the deer that were killed last year were killed with bows that pull 50 to 55 pounds. But right now, let's go over to Catalina on a goat hunt. You know, I've enjoyed all kinds of sports. Baseball, basketball, football, skiing, swimming. But there's nothing in the world that I enjoy half so much as shooting a bow and arrow. And I'm sure that you'll agree if you'll try it, and why don't you try it, hunting with a bow and arrow, that there's no other sport in the world that's as much fun as shooting a bow and arrow. Goodbye. I'll be seeing you out in the field sometime.
Hello, I'm Jerry Hill. You know, it gives me great pleasure to bring to you my late great uncle Howard Hill's movie, Timbo Made in Africa. This video is for home entertainment only. Howard Hill made his trip to Africa in 1950, and he was the first white man to kill an elephant with a bow and arrow. You know, he spent 9 months in Africa directing, producing, and studying the African way of life in order to bring to you the all-time greatest safari picture that's ever been made. Howard Hill was my instructor on how to shoot the longbow, and Howard Hill made his living with a longbow just as I'm doing today. And, you know, before we get into this movie, I would like to show you some of my type of shooting.
Robin Hood, stand back. Jerry Hill is taking over. Jerry's uncle was the famous Howard Hill who split the arrows for Errol Flynn in the Robin Hood movie. Now, in this exclusive story, you'll see Jerry go beyond his uncle's tricks and actually shoot coins out of the air with a bow and arrow. Jack Smith calls the shots because Joe Muganich of Johnstown, Pennsylvania, you asked for it.
Most trick archers use sights, bullets, and other aiming devices to help their accuracy with factory-made aluminum bows and arrows designed by computers. Not Jerry Hill. Like his uncle, he is strictly a purist. If Jerry can live up to his uncle's expectations, he'll be the only man in the world who can make the shots he's going to try exclusively for us. The famous trick that won the part for his uncle in Robin Hood. The film's producer offers a starring role to anyone who could cut a string in half from 12 paces away. Only Howard Hill succeeded. Now Jerry will try to match the nearly impossible feat using only a standard broadhead hunting arrow. A perfect shot, and with no strings attached. Now Jerry will try knocking coins out of the air from 40 feet away. He'll warm up with some plywood discs. Very impressive. Those coins are going to be hard enough to see, much less hit with an arrow. One. and into the bullseye. This is really unbelievable. And now, with a friend holding the mirror, Jerry borrows a trick made famous by Annie Oakley with a gun. Jerry's going to prove once and for all to letter writer Joe Nematich that he's as good as his uncle. Right on target. And you have
large numbers released in the state of California. Our next trip is an area located in the southern portion of Georgia, where large numbers of the Eurasian boar have been released in the hardwood swamps, once occupied by the traditional southern piney woods rooter. We tagged along on a hunt with longbow manufacturer and hunter Jerry Hill of Jerry Hill Longbow Company, located in Wilsonville, Alabama, and Steve Coleman, owner of Buckhorn Creek Hunting Preserve, himself a traditional archer for over 28 years. We'll pick up the hunt early in the morning as the two archers move through a large field, hoping to catch some of the hogs feeding in the open.
My suggestion is that we head over here and stay hidden in this grass and run up on these, and then maybe we'll see some out here. I see some young ones in there. But we'll give them hell anyway. We'll throw some arrows at them. Next to the last one, that's a boar. The lead one about to get left, look out. Now where they're going, they ain't no following them. I can tell you that right now. Man, that's a thick place. But you know, let's go up there and just see if they might not just walk around the corner and figure we're not going to follow them and get lucky. Around a little bit later. Yeah, we'll be back out. That had to be him that I saw then, but that more looked bigger than what I thought. We'll double back around after a while and run up on him again. Give him time to settle down. That old big hog you're talking about, him showing his dominance like that, he's probably done whooped every other boar's butt in these woods. And he's the king of the mountain, you know, until something happens to him. And therefore he's done gotten so aggressive among the great boys and stuff like that. And then he'll attack a man. I just love this kind of open woods like this. I see a deer standing right there. Man, they're all over this place. Look at the scuppernongs. This place is loaded well, and this hill ain't got many, but them hogs and deer will eat them too.
Several hours of hunting had produced several sightings, but no shots. By 3 in the afternoon, it was decided our best luck might be to set up along a major trail leading to a farmer's cornfield. We set up an ambush, keeping the wind to our faces and using available natural cover as blinds. It did not take long for a wary sow to appear, crossing our scent and leading her pigs off to safety. A small boar who appeared 30 minutes later, however, was not as lucky.
See how many she's got. 1, 2, 3. Ain't that safety? Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Show him on the net. Yeah, I caught good. I bet every kind of blood too, ain't it?
After it gets past there, we can stand up.
Look at all the snakes out. Look at it. Fixing to bed this one.
We were pretty sure the shot was a mortal wound, but darkness was coming upon us quickly, so the decision was made to back out and come back in the morning, so as to not spook the animal deeper into the thickets.
Yeah, I tell you what, they got plenty of everything they need out here on the place. They got good cover. They got excellent cover. Let's put it that way.
And last time you saw that hunt, you looked like you were going to make it through the game.
Yeah, well, I put that arrow right in there behind his front shoulder on the left side. I heard it go all the way through him and go into the shoulder on the right side. And,
Was he weak when you saw him?
oh, yeah, he was weak, but it wasn't no use in pushing him. You know, it's better to just back off a little bit and then come back. Well, I tell you what, as far as I'm concerned, not only is it my most favorite sport, but you get to hunt these wild hogs, and it just does something to you. I mean, you can hunt deer all you want to. Now, I've killed a lot of deer in my time, but this wild hog hunting is a thing. Well, I just like the danger and everything mixed in with it. I mean, it really puts me on a one-on-one with my sport, you know. You get out here and you hunt him under natural conditions like you got provided here for him. Equipment. This is where good equipment is born and raised and tested and proven and the whole deal. But if Mother Nature calls, you ain't got none of that camouflage toilet paper in your pocket, either. If you do, I want to know it right now.
No, I think you did.
They should have never invented that stuff, Steve.
And he's dragging the boar out towards the road, with David ahead hollering out directions to the two. When we finally made it back onto the road, Jerry showed us the hog and discussed how perfect he was going to be stretched out over a barbecue pit.
All right, let's go. Yeah. Yeah, he's a nice hog. He got some small teeth. He don't have no real big teeth, but I tell you what, he's a fine hog all the same. He'll be some fine eating. You get one much bigger than this, he's not too good.
He'll be right.
That's right. Every so doggone strong, couldn't stand the taste of the meat.
Hello, folks. I'm Jerry Hill. You know, it gives me real great pleasure to be here in the Ocala, Florida area, one of the most beautiful areas in the state of Florida. There's a whole lot of animals, a whole lot of wildlife here in the Ocala area, and if you never have been around here, you'll meet some of the most wonderful people in the state of Florida. These people are real down-to-earth, good home folks. I've never met so many nice people in just one place. This area is just abounds in all type of wildlife, whether it be alligator, gar, cottonmouth snakes, and the most fish I have ever seen in my life. We've been out filming around and looking at the area, getting ready to make this picture, and I just have been strictly amazed with all the muck and the bass, striped bass, and Florida black bass. And so if you like fishing, I certainly recommend you to come to this area. Will be all you expect it to be. We usually fasten along the line, fast to the head, will be a high-tension leader used for deep-sea fishing and this type of thing. And then we use a swivel. Now this swivel, as you draw the arrow back, can slide along the arrows. You know, fish like I like to go after, like the sharks, and also this is great for stingrays as well. But I'll be using it here in the Ocala area for the alligator. This is a Jerry Hill Lily Iron Broadhead that's used on the big spellers. My Uncle Howard Hill, that did all shooting in the Robin Hood movies, he carried this arrowhead. He originally designed this type of fish head, and used it on sharks and marlin all out along the California coast. But he carried it to Africa in 1950, and he shot crocodiles with it. You see these back wings, they open and close. When he goes in, they'll be closed down. They'll be closed down, and whenever they get inside and the pressure's put on it, then these barbs jump open. You see, this is L2 steel, which is a cross-cut saw-type steel, and they're razor sharp. And then on the front of my arrow, I have the Jerry Hill Broadhead. This is 420 stainless steel, and the hardness is around 47 to 49. Real excellent hardness, easy to sharpen, has a concave cutting edge, which gives you more cutting surface per the total length of the head. It's a 3-to-1 ratio. It's 3 times long as it is wide. So we have that double pin. It's a real heavy-duty head here with a solid ferrule, which is Durall. It's used on jet airplane wings.